Poggers.
Yo, hello. How are you? Hope you're doing good. It's me. It's your boy. It's Goose. Hope you're living life. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah. Welcome to Friday. You feel a little bit under the weather lately? Let's just say, not like ill, just not 100%. So, apologies. I haven't streamed this week, but I feel a bit more. I'm starting to feel a bit. I'm starting to feel better. So here we are. How are you? Welcome to Edmonton, Vince. Hope you and yours have been having a good, safe trip. been very enjoyable. Be very careful on the roads. Very, 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 very careful. Not good. Not good out there. All the ice and everything. Super scary, dangerous. But yeah, just take it easy. Let me know if we can like get some food or something while you're here. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see you. Yeah, how are you? Like I said, I've been not feeling too well. The depression's hit me pretty hard the past, I don't know, past week and a half or so. So I've just been trying to like catch up on sleep as much as I can and just kind of, you know, save what little energy I have to actually like do things that I need to do. Got some more stuff sorted out for the bookkeeping course that I'm applying for. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still pretty tired. So we're gonna take it slow. It's gonna be a little stream. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Probably only like an hour, maybe hour and a half. I want to check out. I'll turn this down a little bit. There we go, because it's not going to have any background music. Hello, Mayday! How are you? We're going to check out 3D Workers Island today, which is not a game. Surprise, surprise. This is 3D Workers Island. It is a short horror story about a screensaver. This has been doing the rounds on my favorite corner of YouTube, the kind of unfiction ARG analysis corner. This is made by the person that created Petscop, which, if you are unaware of what Petscop is, it is a fake video game ARG series, sort of, about this guy that was like, oh, I found this weird video game and all stuff hidden. And it's stuff by like inference and contrasting and similarities between like different characters and items and location, and it's very strange. It doesn't really have a conclusion. It's more about like, I don't even want to say it's like about grief, but it's more like an emotional kind of journey. Yeah, lots of secrets and puzzles and codes and what's not. It was huge. It was absolutely massive, like 4 or 5 years ago. But it's been a while since they've done anything else. The last thing I know is that Nightmare Masterclass, another YouTube channel, did like a theater screening of the entirety of Petscop. At some point, there's like a big Q&A and stuff, and apparently that went over like really well. And now there's a new project, 3D Workers Island. Which is basically just I don't even know. I guess it's like a slideshow almost. It's just images. I've seen some videos going on like 4 hours on YouTube. I haven't watched them because I wanted to actually like look at this thing. It's like 4 hours long talking about, I don't even know what, just talking about it. So I'm excited, even though it says it's only going to be about a half an hour. I doubt that, but we will see. This is you can get it on the itch. It's not even like a game or a download or anything, but there is an alternate way to check it out, which is how we're going to check it out, which is at this website, 3dwi.scr.com. And I just want to go through it, and we're going to go through it together. Yeah? Yeah. Yay. I think this is a little too close. I'm going to move my hand thing away a little bit, so it's a little, yay. There it is. Stop getting false positives. I have a paint window open to take like screenshots of things, because I feel like it's going to be a little tricky to keep track of things. And yeah, we're just going to kind of do this today. More for me. This is more for me than for anybody else. But hey, we'll go through it. If you want to talk about it, that's cool. If you just want to chill out, that's cool too. Okay. We're just going to get into it and just see how this goes. Okay, what's this? This is the homepage. Yeah, so definitely dating itself with Internet Explorer. 3dwi.scr.com. 3dwi.scr is a freeware screensaver. The full title is 3D Workers Island, but most of us prefer to use its file name instead, pronounced 3D Whisker. Which makes sense, 3D Whisker. In 3D Workers, which, 3D Workers Island screen for screensaver, is /what.html. Every session tells a different story on the island. 6 characters interact on a tiny island with complex and unpredictable results. Many found it to be compelling on levels both technical and emotional. T2's Top Software gave it a 10 out of 10 score and wrote about its characters. You will find yourself relating to them and understanding them. They may even confound you and anger you at times. Technical and emotional. That's what they hire you for. All of my traits are technical and emotional. The original source of the program is unknown. It was discovered at 3D Screensaver's Palace, one of the many aggregated screensaver programs appropriated from sources, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so what else do we have on here? We have the icon, which is just like this the blue line at the top, which is interesting because this doesn't look blue. I guess blue is just good, because they're on an island, so that's water. This is the very first image. I guess it's implying that there's a pretty big following about this, but since we've never heard of it, then it's still underground, but a lot of people have seen it. There's contact us links. There's a download. And there are 6 characters: Amber, Holland, Pat, Joe, Grace, and Rebecca. That's all we have right now. Intermissions, history, worker AI, and mysteries. Oh, there's a mysteries section on this website. This is literally just an image. There isn't even alt text or anything. There is nothing here. We inspect it even, it's just the most bare bones. There's nothing here. Edit. Yeah, even the JavaScript is just the CSS. There isn't anything here. Just images. This is just images, to my knowledge. Maybe someone has found something hidden, but we're just gonna kind of take this at face value. I do want to check something real quick though. So T2's Top Software, because this is from a guy who did ARG stuff. I'm just gonna do some quick little searches. Nothing there. Just make sure there's nothing else. 3D Screensaver's Palace, just to see if there's nothing else going on. No, okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. You never know. For source cross data, the owner of that website, by his own admission, sourced it from a similar screensaver aggregate and could not recall which one. It has not been found. The history page for history of 3D Whisker's discovery and spread, as well as the development of this website. We recommend trying 3D Whisker yourself by downloading it from the download page. The events that occur in 3D Whisker are not scripted. They unfold dynamically, and every session is different, which means you're guaranteed to see things that none of us have seen before. So, even with Let's Tab here, it's fine that everything is running off of AI. It's not like a video screensaver. They all have behaviors and things. If you discover anything interesting or important that is not that has not been recorded here or discussed in the forum, feel free to send us an email or create a thread on the forum asking about it. But please do not treat this as a place for tall tales. Check out the overview page for a detailed introduction. 3D Whisker Discovery page was created by me, Pat Lawler, or P. Lawler, and the technical side is run by Singer. Further info on the contact page. Pat Lawler. Why is that familiar? That, for some reason, that sounds familiar. Patrick M. Lawler is a video game and pinball machine designer. Okay. Maybe that's just to imply that it's something like that. That might be why, because I did some digging into some pinball stuff quite a while ago, so maybe I just saw that name before. Okay. So we're going to keep an eye out for P. Lawler, Pat Lawler, and also Singer. So those are 2 character names that are outside of this. Download. Whisker, it is a 4.22 megabyte download, Windows executable, and there's 2 alternates as well. Run the installer, follow the steps installation wizard. Configure the screensaver, right-click on desktop, choosing properties. So yeah, so this is just a straight-up screensaver. If you run into any trouble, create a thread on the forum, yada yada. You chose. Okay, so then we're installing a file. 16 minutes. Oh my god. Direct to the C drive. That's where all the best files live. Download complete. 4.22 megabytes in 20 minutes and 10 seconds. Oof. Oh, this takes me heckin' back, bro. Oh my goodness. 3 times an day. What you? Oh my god. You wearing a mask around, bud? Maybe it's a good idea to do that just to save yourself some of the headache. Yeah, I would. If you're getting sick that often, I don't blame you. I blame everyone else around you. You need to protect yourself from them, my friend. That sucks. Okay, installation 3D Workers Island successful. If you enjoy 3D Workers Island, please spread the word online. It would be much appreciated. I love that everything is capitalized. That's very this era of installer. Instructor in the file was coughing. Oh, God, I hate your instructor. Everything I hear about it, and then you post in the Discord, it makes me just rage, just absolutely rage. I'm so bad about it. That really sucks. I'm glad that it's over, and I hope it went okay. Consider reading the readme.txt file because it includes a lot of interesting and useful information about the screensaver. Okay, so then this is the readme. Nothing's created. God. That. I would file a complaint if you have no idea how you're even doing, what you've been doing wrong. If they're like, nothing's been graded. Not just that. That sucks. That really sucks. 3D Workers Island is an experimental 3D simulation screensaver for PCs with advanced worker simulation. Nothing else seems out of place. Escape to quit. If enabled, only escape you will quit the program. Simulation quality. Adjust the worker simulation rate. Get to know the characters. There are 6 characters on the island. Amber, Holland, Pat, Joe, Grace, and Rebecca. So this is just a bunch of images. It's just a bunch of images, not a game. But this is a short horror story about a screensaver made by the person that created Pets Cup. That's all I know. If you know what Pets Cup is, then you're already intrigued and into it. And if you don't, that's a whole rabbit hole for you to go down. Is a whole like ARG series on YouTube about like they literally created an entire fake PlayStation 1 game, and it was set up like let's plays of this kid or this kid who was recording it for one of his friends, and then shit just gets weird, and it's this whole ARG that happened around it, and it went on for a very long time. Very interesting, really cool. So yeah, so this is basically going to be like a story and images about a weird screensaver. That's it. And I've been wanting to check this out. That's all I know, is that it's a short horror story about a screensaver by someone that made an incredibly interesting ARG. That was technically incredibly impressive. And this is already showing like the same things, like within everything's like era appropriate. We got the readme. We even had like 20 minutes to download 4 megabytes was a good touch. Put on the C drive. The installer looks every era appropriate. Like they're trying to recreate a Windows 95 experience, as well as like that old website look to it. People like talking about it as like it's like this hidden underground piece of software that no one knows anything about, but has spread online at the time, and we're just kind of getting just a piece of it. So we're not going to have all the information about this. We're going to look in and see what's going on. So in this TXT file of this screensaver, 6 characters on Island: Amber, Holland, Pat, Joe, Grace, and Rebecca. To find out who's who, reference the character card that appears on Startup. Worker simulation. Workers are an approach to computation. 3D Workers Island takes advantage of resources in the world. Welcome to the world in the computer. This technology, and then it didn't say anything else. Okay, so set in the screensaver. 3D Workers Island. Bam. That's Pat. So Pat is in the dress and the blonde hair. Rebecca is the red hair and red shoes. Joe, lovely businessman with a beautiful watch. Got a sun hat. You have Amber, all pink all the time. Holland, Mr. Blue, blonde hair as well, and Grace with the heckin' emo looking hair. I guess. Wait, Grace turned away? I think so, because like the front, their shoes are all facing that way. This one, oh no. I guess they are. She's facing that way. So like hair's covering her. No, there's something weird with the arm. So she just turned. We can't see Grace's face for some reason. Grace is turned around. Okay, I have this picture saved in my pink document, so we can reference it. So we have, who do we got? Pat and Holland both have the same color of hair. Rebecca and Joe. Rebecca has red hair. Joe has the hat on. Grace and Amber. All right, and then the screensaver kind of loads up. All right, who we got? That be Joe. Joe's coming out. Got a watering can. Watering the flowers. There's some blue ones over there. Watering the red flowers. And that is Amber. So I guess the implication is that, okay, Joe is like, they have like tasks, right? Because they're workers. So Joe's task is to water flowers. Amber, I don't know what. Oh, okay. World. So I have a forum thread. Ma Girl joined in 1999 and posted in 1999. Hey, I just want to say that this thing is so cool. My eyes are glued to it. I'm mesmerized. I just want to keep it on all day and see what's the people are up to. But my brother needs the computer for his work. What do you all think? And what's happening on your island today? Mr. Crook replies, yeah, it's a hidden gem of the internet. It kills me that Johnny Castaway thing. Johnny Castaway! Oh my god. So that was a very similar kind of thing, but that wasn't like really like AI. There was like all these different like story. It was this little guy on an island, like a deserted island, like a palm tree, and all those little things that he could do. There was like, I don't even know, like 20 or 30 like little stories that could play out. There'd be like a boat in the background, and he'd be like trying to wave it down. There'd be like birds and stuff. There was a whole LGR video on it. So it's cool that they directly, the creators directly kind of referencing that. It kills that Johnny Castaway thing my uncle thinks is so good. This is better because the people are like real people you're watching, and you never know what's going to happen next. I've seen dancing and squirming, the baffling games they play with objects, the awkward intimacy that looks like hugging sometimes, and other times looks pornographic, frankly. Huh. Okay, so maybe not such a family-friendly thing. Bustard, which is picture 2 trash cans. Very good. Reply, agreed? What's happening on your island today? Holland just put her face inside a tree. Okay, what's going on? Okay, everyone's out looking like they're having a barbecue. There's a burger. That's Red. Or Rebecca. Right, red hair. Looks like Rebecca. The kind of shirt makes me think of like a cook kind of thing, like a cook's hat. But I don't know what this is. It's either a doll or a baby, and I can't tell which one. Okay, so what's going on? So they're talking. That's Amber. She's eating the burger. Hanging out over here. Okay. Joe's just vibing. Holland looks like she's freaking the heck out, just running around. I guess that the implication is Holland is supposed to be a child, even though she's the same size as everybody else. The kind of like more energetic moving around makes me think that, but I'm not too sure. And Grace is still back to us the entire time. We still can't see like what Grace's face equivalent is. Although with the hair kind of forward like that, like I'm gonna assume hair just completely covering her face, which is very odd because you can see like the actual back of Grace's head. Like the hair is really high up, which is interesting. Oh no, she dropped the doll in the water. Oh god. Burger done. Oh, she got it back. Hooray. All right, Amber's coming over. Serving another burger. Grace is still over there. I got it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, what else is going on? So now Pat is over. So Pat, I'm assuming Pat. Thank you, mate. I'm assuming the implication is Pat is Holland's parent because the exact same color face, same hair color. With her still sitting down, I don't know if she's. Oh yeah, that's definitely like a crying. Is dropped now. Their doll's all wet, like on her back, kind of shaking around. They're just looking out to sea. All right, we zoom in. Here comes Rebecca with a burger, half burger. Everything. They're very like one track mind kind of thing. So all Rebecca's doing is serving burgers. All Grace is doing is just staring out. I don't know what's going on with Amber and Pat here. Weird looking doll with like these two horns on it. He's trying to feed the burger to the doll or something. That's kind of funny. All right, another forum thread. 12-point Homer. Singer. Okay, this is another administrator. They're going to reply at some point. All right. April 25th, 1999. I think it's great, but it's buggy and just weird. My roommate keeps talking about how he could do it better. I'd like to see him try. He couldn't even program the turret in our tank game last semester. What an idiot. Homer. My ma hates TV, but she tells me to put on the virtual people. I put 3D World Workers Island on the projector and she squints quietly in her recliner for hours. Peace for me. Singer. I'd like to keep it running in an alcove of my house and check up on it as I'm passing through. It's good for that. It can surprise you sometimes. The other day, I saw Joe take a remote-controlled helicopter out of the house and fly it around. I'd never seen that before. Yeah, so Singer is the designer webmat for the page. So he's kind of keeping track of this current archive of 3D Workers Island, which, to remind you, no one knows where it comes from. Earl Egger. I keep hearing the stories about this thing, but so far, it's boring. I don't get it. I want to know what you guys are doing because I'm just starting up the program and watching it and nothing is happening. People are standing around, sitting around, looking around, walking around. They don't have faces, so I don't know what they're feeling or thinking. I don't know. What's going on here, guys? All right, and then P. Lawler, whose profile picture is that bit of Holland on the ground with the doll, and then Amber and Holland kind of staring out to sea. Interesting. Which characters are you talking about? You know, some people have worked hard enough in their lives and deserve a rest already. No, but seriously, what do you mean? I see plenty of activity on the island. I do feel a twinge of annoyance when I see a character like Amber sitting around. I want to tell her, hey, you're young, do something. So there's like a split between people in the forums that are using this, like treat them like real people, like P here, who's saying to Amber, who is supposed to be a child, I guess, based on this, like, you're young, do something. And he's annoyed with the AI of it. Other people are just like, oh, do something, just want it to be just like entertaining kind of thing. So there's a split between like a personal and like a personal versus like entertainment kind of. Ned Hucker. Actually, it does become entertaining over time. You just have to keep watching. I think you'll be surprised by what you see, but you do have to be kind of open to it. You have to be cool. Be cool and things will be shown to you. Personally, I love this screensaver. It's so fucked up. Okay, so we have a... So this... Ned is also like, bro, so fucked, bro. Interesting. As well as the other person that said things could get quote-unquote pornographic at times. But for how low res and like no one has faces or anything, I don't know. That's just interesting. That... I'm interested. I want to know what's going on. Okay, Joe's reading some kind of book. There's a kitchen mixer back there. Laptop maybe there. That's also Grace. Grace is just sitting again, staring off that way. So Grace isn't doing anything. We still haven't seen her face this direction. Still. Like she's not a part of the group kind of thing. Or maybe like her AI sort of broken. Just telling her to just not do anything. Which is a mood. That's big depression vibes. That is Pat. And over. Joe is moved. I'm guessing Joe sees Pat. Spin in a circle. Do a little twirl. Yeah. Gonna go in the house. Rebecca comes out. Hand up. Waving? Yeah, I guess like a greeting. They're talking. Heckin' pop up. That's great. Okay, so this is 3D Screensavers Palace, which is where the original file that was on the 3D Workers Island website was taken from. Let's see. This was uploaded November of 1998. He said he got it from somewhere else as well. Oh no, this is Screen Shapes. Okay, whatever. 3D Cave 2. Oh no, 3D Workers Island. Okay, that was uploaded 97. So December of 97. So let's see. The forum posts are from April 99. So this was uploaded to this website a year and a half-ish, give or take, to 3D Screensavers Palace. And just not touching this pop-up. Great idea. Without a good antivirus, that's just going to wreck you. 6,000 downloads versus 70 downloads for 3D Cave 2, 36 downloads for Screen Shapes. So very clearly the most popular screensaver. But it's also like, oh, okay, no, it's just kind of an average size of download. So, but for having a full working like AI system, I'm surprised at how small that is for the time. All right, we got Amber helping out, mowing the grass. Rebecca's just staring out. I see. Good job avoiding those flowers, by the way. Huh. Horror has not hit yet, but I know it's coming. It's got to be coming. All right, so this is, instead of the what page, this is the overview page of the 3D Whisker site. Overview. What is this strange screensaver you have stumbled upon? The only way to really understand 3D Whisker is to try it. It works best without words. I'll give you my best overview. When you start 3D Workers Island, it will display its 6 characters and a helpful character card that gives you a name for each one. Afterwards, you'll be placed in front of an island, and you'll mostly remain on that island until you decide to stop the program. Mostly remain on that island. The characters are powered by a kind of AI technology that authors refer to as worker simulation. It is clear from simple observation that this tech should not be taken lightly, but just how advanced this AI is seems to be an ambiguous and controversial question in the community. Okay. It is very much a matter of intuition at this point. At the very least, it is good enough to capture the imaginations of many. So at least people's interpretation of the AI is that it's quite complex. Like right now, it seems very much like one of the character gets like one task and it could be interrupted by something else. Maybe like we're trying to interpret intent, and like I'm trying to interpret intent and what they're supposed to be doing at that point. Or like now it's break time, so like Joe is sitting staring out to the ocean or something, or now it's time for someone to mow the lawn, and maybe it like randomly chooses somebody. But there might be more complex reasons for doing something. But like I guess that's what this is hinting at. We can't click on the link to like what this forum might be. Is it actually, or is it just screenshots? These are just images. We're just looking at images. This is basically just a comic book. These are all mocked up. This is all fake. There is no screensaver. And every time the screen changes, it's just me clicking. That's all it is. That's it. There's no screensaver. Nothing is moving. It's a story about a screensaver that people think has a complex AI in it. That's it. It's not. That's all it is. It's just. This is image 93. we're just given like a record of this of a version of the screensaver, I guess, and like little snippets of the website and other forums and things. Does that make sense? I hope so. I'm still trying to figure out what this story. I don't know what this story is about yet, other than we have a weird screensaver with that, or the people say is weird, which have these 6 AI, or AI in quotes, controlled workers, quote unquote, that interact with each other and do things. But people have been saying that they've seen some really messed up stuff within the screensaver. We haven't seen it yet, but that's just, we've heard that that could be the case, that there's some stuff in here. Okay. Whatever's happening under the hood, it is taxing to any PC. The program seems to be fluid in this way. It will use whatever resources are provided to it, but can make do with just about any system that's capable of displaying the 3D graphics. Okay. It will use whatever resources. So the more powerful a computer, the more it's just going to, it uses all resources. It just takes everything that it can get. Impressive or not as technology, you will find that this is a program of broad and infinite possibilities. Since retiring last November, I have been keeping 3dwi.scr running on the desk in my study, in my bedroom, my living room, my kitchen, and my basement, all running around the clock as I do my household tasks and live my life. That's a lot of energy. Like, this dude seems kind of obsessed with it. What I see on each of these PCs throughout the day is still continuously fresh and novel to me. It makes my home to a very pleasant little world. You'll notice that the island is quiet. 3dwi.scr does not play audio, unlike what you may find in the After Dark products and similar entertainment-based programs. I remember After Dark. That was old screensaver products that eventually took some of the images of the After Dark screensavers, which was like a toaster with wings, and they made like a Windows minigame compilation, and there was like an exploration game with the flying toaster. There was like a lawn mowing game. It was wild. After Dark was crazy. Man, it's nostalgia, man. Oh, I hate it. It's very much in line with default package of screensavers in the Windows operating system, such as 3D Maze and Mystify Your Mind. Yeah, the toaster. Hold on, you got now. I gotta dark toaster game. Yeah. So you have this flying toaster, and it's like, it's this weird isometric thing, and you like fly through, and you're trying to like pick up objects and things. Toaster Run. It was wild. It was so weird. Yeah, if you like landed on that, you'd get set on fire. You'd like run through the clock. So you're trying to like pick up the bread and toys. There's like this baby bottle here. You have to use this part to see like how high you were, and then your shadow what you were over. Like, it was so weird. But there's a whole bunch of games, and they're all based off of their screensavers. Yeah, so this is like one of the screensavers, where it's this toaster flying around, and this was released like at least a couple years before they made those games out of it. It was so weird. It was so weird. All right. The significance of this silence is considerable. It allows the island to disappear. Despite its heft, it's also light. There's a sense of ghostly transience, but none of it is really happening, and it can all vanish with the flick of a mouse. I mean, it's a screensaver. Yeah. And the significance of this silence is considerable, allows the island to disappear. So he's simultaneously treating all these instances of 3D Worker Island as like his own world, and based on what was his name? It doesn't say what his name was. P. Lawler, I believe, is the main person writing this based off the first couple screenshots that we saw of this website. Yeah, he's definitely like obsessed with it, and he simultaneously treats the characters like real characters, but also like there's a sense of ghostly transience, and none of it is really happening. It can all vanish with the flick of a mouse, which is true. So that's just a very odd way to describe this. Okay, so Holland and Amber are okay. Yeah, they're about the same size. So I guess these are 2 children. So the adults, Pat, Rebecca, Joe, and Grace, are the adults. Amber and Holland are kids, and I'm assuming Holland is Pat's son, maybe daughter. I don't know. And then Amber's skin color is different than everyone else, so I don't know what's going on with Amber. Some kind of conversation? Hold on. like shaking her head about something. Yeah, I think like shaking her head and like leaning forward, hand forward. I don't know. That doesn't look like having a great time. Holland runs inside. Okay, interesting. Another forum thread. This is a new one. This is not the Hey thread. Model of the island. This is for my son's island project for first grade, which took second place in the contest. I'm proud of him. Okay, I will admit, he mostly played Pajama Sam while Mom and I built the island, but he did the written part of the assignment himself. Anyway, here are the photos. That's adorable. So someone 3D modeled the island. Cool. Glad your son's school is teaching him about islands. Chris, your living room is disgusting. Lol. P. Lawler. Which again, this image, the fact that we saw this image and everyone is different makes me think that what we are seeing is at least one of the instances that P. Lawler has running, because we saw the exact same image as his profile picture here, and because everyone's is different, there's not really any way people would see the same thing, I guess is the implication. It's interesting. Did a good job with the island. I have some advice. You should not do your son's work for him. Do not let him get used to the idea that you will do his assignments. Take it from a fellow parent. Oh, so he's also a parent. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. But they were expecting parents to help with this one. You should see what the other kids brought in. Anyway, he did the written part himself, as I said. Buddy, my son doesn't like 3D Workers Island one bit. It scares him and he makes me turn it off. Johnson is replying to that it scares him. Kids are afraid of everything. My wife and I rented a tape of the Page Master to watch with her niece, and unfortunately we got to the moment where Macaulay Culkin in the library gets overtaken and drowned in rivers of paint, and suddenly the tape went nuts and became unreadable. Her niece started screaming, and now she's afraid of getting drowned in paint and turned into a cartoon. Oh no! Oh no! Poor kid. Bruh, that was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That was that for me. I didn't see the ending. I like the very end. I remember just seeing the part where, what was his name? Dr. Doom gets like squished, and he had like those weird, terrifying eyes. It terrified me as a kid. So I totally get that. I don't blame the people who made that movie for making a terrified Macaulay Culkin character get drowned in paint, but some kids really do think it's possible to get swallowed up into a cartoon prison where they can't escape. And hell, if I believed that, I'd be afraid too. I mean, the idea of being sucked into a fake world and then this be about this other, what P. Lawler says, his own little world. I don't know if I like that. Egg carton on the doorstep. Okay, what we got? We have Amber talking to, I believe that's Pat. Because I'm comparing it to the image of the character card that I have, and that blue right there matches. We have white there, which you kind of see is going to be your hand, and then the green also matches. Hello, Dusky Wolf. How you doing? Yeah, okay, then we just see Pat. Okay. They're having like a secret conversation about something. Oh, saying Amber did something wrong, I think. Because now she's like sitting down. Huh. Does like, that's my assumption. Because like my mom would pull me aside if I did, even if I didn't know I was doing something, or did something she didn't like, would do this kind of thing. And then like sitting down, head down. I wonder if that is related to this, because these are shown right after another. So Amber is here, kind of leaning forward. Holland leans away and then runs inside. Maybe this is like a "I love you, Holland" kind of thing. Maybe. And then scares him or something, runs in. Maybe. If these things are related, which I'm assuming they are, since we are intentionally being shown these things. Because then Pat, who, you know, like I said, I believe is Holland's parent, is now talking to Amber away from everybody else. And then Amber is, you know, sitting on the ground like she's doing, like Pat's making her feel bad about something kind of thing. That's my assumption. All right, this is good kid. A banned user after only 9 posts. I installed 3D Workers Island on my school's computers. It's happened back in October. In detention, they had me sit in the computer lab where I ostensibly wasn't allowed to play on the computers, lol. My computer lab teacher was in there upgrading Office, and I showed him 3D Workers Island and explained it to him. I swear, he was like enchanted by it. I wanted to install it on all the computers, so we installed it on all the computers together while eating donut holes. Another instance of someone like immediately becoming enchanted and obsessed with it. Like, some people do, some people don't. But if it gets somebody, like, they want to install it on every computer they can. Interesting. Like a mimetic effect almost, though I don't think that's where this is going. We had some problems, and I had to call my sweet and angelic mommy to tell her why I was still at school, but we eventually got it working after 7 p.m. We turned off the lights, and it started it going on every computer in the room. It was a powerful experience, just all these different things happening on the island all around us on glowing screens, in the dark, in silent computer lab at night. Way better than 3D pipes. It felt like this was the way 3D Workers Island was meant to be experienced. I recommend putting this thing on as many screens as you possibly can. Forgive me, I don't know anything. I'm just a 14-year-old teenage kid, exclamation mark, smiley face. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this is not, absolutely not a 14-year-old. Like, just kind of making up a story, trying to get people to put it on as many screens as possible for some reason. What were you in detention for? Lol, dress code violations mainly. I also invented a fake skin disease called Cutilacuni, and I started incorporating it into some of my written assignments in English and history, even when it had nothing to do with anything. What? Okay, hold on. Cutilacuni. Is that that's not a real thing. But it's such a specific detail. No, it's the only thing that is referenced is 3D Workers Island. Okay, so it's not a real thing. Okay, Joycey replies, okay, I'll bite. Tell me about Cutilacuni. I'm glad you asked. Okay, so why is this important? Cutilacuni, skin disease with 4 stages. Stage 0, redness and sensitivity. Stage 1, skin gaps, holes or gaps of various sizes exposing dermis. Stage 2, skin islands, widespread loss of epidermis, leaving only a number of skin islands of various sizes. Stage 3, recession of the islands, leading to complete loss of epidermis. So skin just falling off. Early stages can be treated and reversed, but stage 3 is irreversible. Stages 1, 2, and 3 are considered consistently rated 10 on the 1 to 10 pain scale. Screaming and hair pulling and despair. Okay, now I believe this is a 14-year-old. That's too detailed. And like the head canon of this is like, oh, what's the, like, I'm just gonna make up a skin disease and there's 3 stages and they call them different things and it's 10 on the pain scale and there's gonna, you get real sad, as like it's just unnecessary detail. And they started putting it into like English assignments. Dude, that's best. Okay, Pat and Holland. Amber's coming around the wheelbarrow. Something red in the wheelbarrow. Wait, what is that? Oh, just a rock. Okay, Holland picks up a rock. What? Did he drop the rock on his foot? I don't know. Maybe. What's the, and then it's just full of red lumps or something from behind the house. It looks like Amber's looking around. Going backwards. Forward. Picks up a rock, drop rock, fell down. Yeah, it looks like Holland just drops the rock on his foot. And it's just like, ah! Wild. Okay. Who's your favorite character? Weird tall guy. Amber. Cheer. No question, Amber. Reality Priest. Amber's the answer. Everybody loves Amber for some reason. JK, it's Amber. Fuck everyone else. Why is everyone... What? I'm offended that the question is even being posted, but I understand. You don't know any better. You're better off this way. What? You're better off this way. People are like offended. I know we're not supposed to talk about those topics here. We can at least be honest when it comes to questions like this. I'm not going to pretend my favorite character is Holland or Grace or someone else just so things can stay clean on this forum. What? Somebody fill me in on the joke here. What's wrong with the other characters? Okay, P. Lawler. Amber would be a good choice. And may have been mine, but I'm sometimes put off by her lazy tendencies. Hey Scoots, how are you? We're checking out 3D Worker Island, a short horror story about a screensaver, which so far is people on a forum talking about the screensaver being heckin' weird about fake AI people in a screensaver. Naturally, I would choose Pat, since by coincidence we share a name, and I believe the 2 children are hers. Another coincidence, as I also have 2 daughters. However, I cannot help but feel attracted to Rebecca with her eye-catching red hair and shoes. It is a difficult question. I'm cool. Amber, motherfucker. Okay. People being hacking weird about this, because Amber's a child. And then talking about being attracted to one of the AI people, just weird. Okay, so there's Grace again looking away. We still haven't seen, well, A, we haven't seen Grace do anything, and B, we've never seen Grace facing this direction, even on the character card screen thing, just never. And there's also these, oh, those are red flowers, because there's 4 white flowers here, some blue flowers here, and red flowers there. That's why. Because if Amber and Holland's throwing rocks, maybe? Yeah, it looks like he like throws something out into the ocean, and then Amber's like staring. And then is looking for it, maybe? Maybe. Okay. We have another web page. GeoCities, Computer Philosophy 1. Windows. There are windows everywhere we see them, and anyone could be looking in at you. That's a part of what makes them scary. But windows are even scarier when you're the one who looks in them. Because of when you never know what you'll see in them. Remember the enthusiasm in a market for window into reality in 1996 as the Nintendo 64 broke once lore Project Reality. What? Of course, hold on. Window into reality. Reality and 64? What are they talking about? No idea. Oh, it's just talking about when the N64 was put onto market. That's all it means. I think it was called Project Reality before it came out. Remember the enthusiasm in a market for, quote, window into reality in 1996 as the Nintendo 64 broke. Once lore, Project Reality. So just saying that's what it would used to be called. Of course, the TV screen is really a window into fiction and not reality. The only window of reality is the one we looked into as a baby and still cannot turn from. What called the common story theme of falling into asphalt imagery. Oh, this seems very like Google Translate kind of thing. Very odd. We bring the inside into the outside, and the outside is the place we are stuck looking. This is the only meaning of I'm trapped in the TV. When we find out that reality is the thing we look into, but what does that mean? Where are we? What happens when something bad you find responsible for is there and you do nothing to stop it because it looks through a window and is not real? I'm trapped in here and I may never return home. What do we mean? Huh? What is it? Okay. So talking about like perception essentially, and then looking into like looking through some sort of framing of some sort. And I guess it's both like a TV is a window into fiction. I don't know what it means by, where was it? The only real window of reality is the one we looked into as a baby and still cannot turn from. Oh, I guess that means like its eyes. The one we looked into as a baby, so like the window of seeing, and we're still seeing through it. I think that's the only real window of reality, is things that we see with our own eyes and not like through a screen or something. Falling into asphalt imagery. What? We bring the inside into the outside, and the outside is the place we are stuck looking. I'm trapped in the TV. When we find out that reality is the thing we look into, but what does that mean? Where are we? So okay, so trapped in the TV. Yeah, this just seems like weirdly translated or something. If you're looking out and see reality, and reality is outside of yourself, is like yourself in reality, or is it separate from it? I guess is like it's asking what the question is. What happens when something bad you find responsible for is there, and you do nothing to stop it because it looks through a window and is not real? So you see, so this, what? It's saying that if you see something bad and you don't do anything to stop it because you think it's not real, because you're seeing it through a framing of fiction, I guess, you find responsible for, and you do nothing to stop because it looks through a window and is not real. I'm trapped in here and I may never return home. What do we mean? Huh? And then it's, oh, then it's literally showing images on a computer screen flat. They're actually 3D objects, and then they leave the computer. So it's insinuating, I don't know what it means. Island. What? Okay. That feels incredibly important, but I don't exactly understand what it's saying. Like, this series of images is like, okay, these fake, like what you see on a screen, and then it says it's talking about like a window into fiction. But then if once they come out of the screen, then they're real. Does that mean they're real? They'll reel in there, and then they like it's making it see like this just seems like an insinuation that what's happening in the 3D Workers Island screensaver is real in at least some sense. It's either real because we're looking at it, or they are like some kind of like weird meant beings of some sort. I don't know. It's such a, I'm trapped in here and I may never return home. What do we mean? Great question. This hurts my brain. I don't even know like how to read it. Island. Yeah, I don't know what this means. All right, and now we are shown a instant messaging window with Miss Toothpaste and Edward Sucks 0, which I don't think is okay. So like this is from the point of view of Edward Sucks, because this says that the window title is Miss Toothpaste. Miss Toothpaste warning level 0%. Okay. Edward Sucks 0. Wow, tell me more about that. Miss Toothpaste. I was with my cousin last week for Thanksgiving. Since last year, they live a 3-hour drive away. It got late and he took me down a dark trail and scared the piss out of me talking about ghosts and murderers. In a quiet moment, I thought I might change the subject, so I started talking about 3D Workers Island apropos of nothing. Turns out he knew about it, which caught me off guard. Edward Sucks. Oh! And he carried on with the exact same tone as when he was talking about torture killers a moment earlier, but now talking about 3D Workers Island. As telling me about a conspiracy or something, he went on about the girl in the pink shirt, who is Amber, that everyone on the forum is heckin' weird for, and gave me this long list of ominous things to pay attention to in the screensaver. Edward Sucks 0. Oh, he's one of the Amber shitheads. Thank you. Yeah. Those people basically took down that old Discovery Pages website a couple years ago. Ruined a good thing. This toothpaste. Yeah? Anyway, when he got back, we watched 3D Workers Island together until 2 a.m. on the slowest, crappiest computer in the world. We watched until suddenly the computer froze completely. But he told me that it wasn't really frozen, that actually 3D Workers Island does it on purpose in order to hide things that are happening. Okay, so there is a full-on conspiracy that there is more happening on the island that we are seeing, which we already can't see inside the house on the island, but he's not talking about that. He's talking about the computer freezing and says that it's intentionally done to hide things that are happening. Like from that the software is hiding something from people. Edward Suck Zero. What? I don't know. He was making things up on the spot, but I think they still meant something to him. Okay, so that's saying that this website, the 3dwi.scr.com, this website was shut down. This doesn't have a date. It just says they took down that old Discovery Pages website a couple years ago. Which, yeah, the Discovery board. So this website was taken down by the people talking about Amber a lot, which would be these people. Okay, so Sax Play and Reality Priest were both people that are like, Amber, blah, blah, blah. So, buddy, thread, question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, my music is over. How about something different? I still want something like chill. It's like I'm getting a bad feeling about this story. Like the amount of attention put onto the presentation of an underage girl already is heckin' weird to me. It's very weird, and I don't like that, and I hope this does not go to a place that I think it could with that kind of idea. The fact that there's like this weird mimetic effect on it with some people is interesting, and the idea that there's something like that computer philosophy page about viewing things as reality, a window into reality or a window into fiction, is interesting. And I guess that's kind of like the quote unquote question that we have right now is what's happening on this screensaver real or fake? And right now it looks all fake. Like they're just AI workers, like in the help page. But some people think there's more than that. But who's right? That I guess is like the question right now. And the work creator of this, when it also made Pets Cop, in that there was like souls in the game. It was like you found a character and that was like it was at least one point a human being or like a representation of a person. And it's not like a programmed thing, kind of. That was like a main part of that. So it could go in that direction. I'm not sure, but if they're doing that exactly twice, like there's already covering similar ground of like this lost piece of media that has like some dark secrets to it, as well as like, is it real, is it not, kind of thing. That's very similar, but this is already feeling significantly different than Pets Cop is. Okay, so what is this forum thread? Okay, so I almost don't want to ask this at all, but I keep hearing certain implications about the screensaver that I don't want to repeat here, but you probably know what I'm talking about. I think maybe it's supposed to be a joke, but if so, I don't find it funny at all. Can someone give me some more info about this? Okay, so I think it is saying implication is some people are heckin' weird about Amber. Sax Player, turn back now. Don't go any further. Reality Priest, stop sign. Ned Hucker, for your own peace of mind, stop this line of inquiry now and do something else. Don't become another one of us freaks. Reality Priest, seriously, I wish I could go back to enjoying the screensaver normally. I want to be a normal person again. Please, God, let me forget. Ned, there are links that can be provided. If you really want them, I can send them to your email. Just let me know. Sheer, I'm no coward. Here's the link. Follow note, link removed. Go ahead, quote, enjoy. Ned, yeah, that's not going to last very long. What? Okay, Joe on a chair, floating. Grace is there. Again, staring out, but it looks like Joe is like talking to Grace or something, but we still can't see Grace's face. Holland comes out, big lamppost. Puts the lamppost down. Runs over here. And Grace is also like slightly turns her head. I guess like noticing Holland, I suppose. Don't know what this means. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you could go full on like, oh, the lamp represents the phallus, and the staring away is shame, and running away to not like. I bet I doubt it. I have no idea. Maybe we'll put something together. But right now, a lot of these elements just seem like we're given what seems to be these really innocuous, just literally just screensaver bits. And then it's contrast with people being incredibly weird about it. And that's what's actually the horror bit. Like there's nothing going on in the screensaver, but it's just people seeing something that's not there. And that's what's scary. Like the conspiracy mind, potentially. The lamp clearly represents enlightenment. Oh my god, it's so true. We're gonna ascend to the workers' island and know true peace. Okay, so this is a redacted link inside 3dwi.scr. So I'm assuming this is the link that was sent here, that Sheer sent. I'm no coward. Here's the link. Go ahead, quote unquote, enjoy. That's not gonna last very long. I'm assuming this is that, because link removed, and we get like this redacted link in the address bar. So I'm assuming that's what this is. Okay, so we have the house. The window of my living room, covering the walls with wide views of my front and backyards, fill the room with light during the day and an air of vulnerability during the night. My brother crashes here. He sleeps on the couch against the back windows. Sometimes we sit together, looking out those windows, and tell stories about the house beyond my backyard. A man lives in that house with his 2 sons. The curtains are closed, and we imagine our own childhood replaying itself behind them. It's just a stupid game, really, making up stories about the neighbor. I think of it as a way to bond over past experiences. Somehow we get emotional about it anyway, but not emotional enough to do anything because, of course, it's a stupid game. There's no point in worrying about those children based on feelings and intuition alone. So we both find that our dreams become more vivid with time. Okay, so they're... Oh... an implication of like these 2 people being maybe abused as children because they're emotional and making up their own childhood replaying itself behind them, and they're worrying about those children based on feelings and intuition alone. So it's like the unknown in another house, I guess, and like putting their own experiences on that, even though, you know, innocuous, nothing happening. We both find that our dreams become more vivid with time. Lately, we've grown exhausted of that game, but recently I downloaded 3D Workers Island. It plays on a PC in the corner of my living room. You should check out this program. It's a screensaver, which means it only starts when you aren't using your computer, but when it starts, you're on an island. There are people around, but they don't do much. Not when they're outside, anyway. Naturally, you wonder what they might be doing inside the windowless red house in the background. That's when things start to go wrong, when you start wondering that. And now we begin another game. As in life, concern begets more concern. The reality is always worse than you think it is. No matter how much you learn, it's always worse. And the only escape is to stop asking, to stop digging, to stop learning. This is your chance to stop. So it's comparing not knowing what's going on in a house and imagining the worst to doing the same thing in this screensaver. You don't know what's going on in the house. Imagine the worst thing. And that's where the horror lies. But if you don't imagine it, then you don't get to find out. And not knowing is what protects you, I guess, is what it sounds like. The only escape is to stop asking, to stop digging, to stop learning. Huh. The preferred resource for all things 3D Workers Island is called 3D Whisker Discovery Pages. Created and maintained by Pat Lawler, it covers everything a reasonable person would want to know. You should browse her website first, if you haven't already, because it's quite good. I've assumed the Lawler was a man, because the Pat in Workers Island is a woman, or implied to be. It has like the skirt pattern, and then this person says it's hers, because we don't know. Like, honestly, I actually don't know. So either this person is assuming Pat of the website Pat is a woman because Pat in Workers Island is, but but Pat Lawler doesn't see what we see or chooses not to. I've created a different kind of resource. Here, I take your sightings and I display them for the benefit of others. Together, we play this game the way it's meant to be played. Welcome to my website, inside 3dwi.scr. Beyond here are themes of violent abuse and torture. Continue if you can handle that. Hold on. Hold on. What? Okay, hold on. Inside 3dworkersisland.scr. That isn't anything. Okay, that is not a website. Pardon? What is this? What? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on a second. What? Hold on a second. I'm just gonna quickly click ahead. Just to see if there's... Okay, I've went a whole bunch ahead just to see. There's nothing. There's no images of anything. So I don't know. Hold on. Okay. I think people is being heckin' weird about this. Okay. Because themes of violent abuse and torture, which we don't see and we won't be seeing. So we have Joe, Amber, and Holland. The picnic table. Amber's not looking at Holland. Joe's looking around. Picks a flower? No. Does not. Just reaches down and walks over here. That's it. That's all we see. Okay. P. Lawler. Okay, so this is a response back to that question mark thread. I'm no coward. Here's the link. Link remove. Go ahead. Response. I removed your link because it breaks the following rule. Rules wrote, Rule 5, do not post links to the website. You know the one. It is nothing more than a collection of perverted, creative writing prompts. I would not usually be so strict about something like this, but clearly there are too many here who cannot stay reasonable and sane while discussing the content of this particular website. So I must make the hard decision of banning it. You can guess what I think about this topic, but only try to explain the phenomenon occurring here. The fact is, many internet users are children and young adults, and children like to play games. What this means is you will occasionally find yourself unknowingly pulled into the games played by children. On the website, you'll primarily find stories told by kids to scare other kids. You'll also find so-called analysis of these stories that treats them as true fact to give them legitimacy, but there is no evidence to be found there. I hope I've cleared things up for you, buddy. Okay, so, like... that website is like saying there's all these like theories and dark things that are happening and treats it as fact where there is no evidence of that, kind of like creepypasta equivalence sort of thing about this. And people in this forum are either believe that or don't. Like I don't. Yeah, it's like the horror so far is like people choosing to believe the worst. I think because it's a screensaver, and now everything's being blown out of proportion. Like this is some big QAnon thoughts almost. Shut up, Pat. Anyway, more links. Members.aol.com. John Sorroway. Good info about John Sorroway. Geocities.com, welcome to my world. Stories of reality. Thank you, P. Lawler. Well said. These violent stories are cheesy and over the top. Blood and guts. Believe me, I've been watching this program for so long, I would have seen such things by now. Okay, hold on. John. Oh. No, hold on. There we go. What is this? John Sorrowway. What? Nothing. Not a thing. But this one's GeoCities. Welcome to my world. That's something, right? Okay. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if it's actually tied to this at all. It is not. It goes to yahoo.com. Okay, so that is not anything. Okay. So neither of these are anything, but it's being sent to Stories of Reality and John Sorrowway. And it says these are related to that website somehow. Okay. John Sorrowway. Is that... None of the characters are called John. No, they're not. Pat, Rebecca, Joe, Grace, Holland, Amber. That is it. Cheer. Watching programs. Okay, respond. If the screensaver won't open up to you, maybe you need to look within yourself to find the problem. What? You'd love to think it's all just bloody screaming children. Long before I began seeing the violent shit, I saw the way Amber was treated by the other islanders. I saw her tiredness. I saw her subtle messages. But you just point at the bleeding children and laugh. All right, then. Okay, this is sounding like big QAnon, in a sense. That whole, like, save the children shit just... as just, like, a path to, like, their own just really weird ideas. But even then, like, I did say that it looked like Pat was, like, making Amber feel bad kind of thing. So the fact that I see that was, like, her tiredness, her subtle messages, like, just seems kind of, like, sad. But then it just kind of jumps to, like, violence and stuff, and there just isn't a connection. But the fact that I'm seeing something that one of these messed up people was also seeing, I don't like that. HTML maniac. Why is it always Amber who gets abused and killed in these made-up scenarios? Don't get why this community has an obsession with torturing her specifically. You're all freaks and sociopaths is my best guess. Yeah, that's where I'm sitting. Lawler. Maybe I should create my own section for dealing with 3D Whisker hoaxes. Snopes.com is a good system for these. True, false, multiple truth values, undetermined, and unclassifiable veracity. I would give every one of these stories the red sphere of falseness. False, false, false. Hello, Egg. How are you? We're looking at a spooky story told in images about a screensaver from 1999. Ooh. Sort of. I am very uncomfortable, for sure. 12 point. Jesus fucking Christ, that website. The screenshots and pictures on there are insane. Some of them are obviously straight up Photoshop. Others I don't know. They're all low quality JPEGs for what it's worth. Makes it easy to hide flaws. Just walking into the wall. Yep, spooky screensaver. Oh, terrible things happening. Back to inside 3D Whisker. Hidden messages, photographs, screams, whispers, glitches, oddities, real life, and just for fun. Welcome to Inside 3D Whisker. Here you'll find the content missing from P. Lawler's 3D Whisker discovery pages. Her website should be your source of general information about the screensaver, but come back here when you're done. Your category on the left and browser collection of user-submitted sightings. Download 3D Whisker and let us know what you find by submitting a sighting. Thanks for visiting and telling us your stories. So, two communities. This as, like, comfort, in a sense, and this as, like, fascination. Like, dark fascination. All right, I'm receiving so many emails, recent updates. I'm receiving so many emails about this. Sam Ferrero business, though there's not much contention in whether the screenshots of Amber's rare black shirt is real. There's a lot of disagreement about whether the picture on her shirt is really of Sam Ferrero, since it doesn't exactly match any of the known publicly released photos of him. I've expanded this section to include some of your comments. On the subject of photos, I've removed a user-submitted photo from PGR Pin at the request of its original owner. Who is that? Director of Recruitment at Baptist Housing. So, nothing? That is not... Okay, another... So, that is nobody. This does not seem to be like ARG. I think everything seems to be self-contained within these. Okay, so another update the day before. Added a link to Grace's guilt. And Grace is the one who we haven't been able to see her face. Great quote. Lucky for that girl, her story became an urban legend. Most people don't believe it really happened, even if they are fascinated anyway. A perfect disappearing act. The real transforming into fiction. Now she lives her disgraceful retirement in the remote world of a cartoon, but reality will haunt her conscience forever. Added some more user submissions to worker degeneration. So it's... That makes it sound that people are implying that Grace, like, was, like, consumed by the screensaver and now she lives inside of it. Like that post about Keymaster, right? Drowning in paint and becoming a cartoon. There's that forum post, not Keymaster, Pagemaster, of the Macaulay Culkin character drowning in paint, becoming a cartoon. So that's literally what this is like referencing, sort of. So disgraceful retirement in the remote world of a cartoon. Grace, disgraceful, but we don't know anything about her. Like, okay, people are like, it just seems people are making up everything about this and just running hard with what's inside their own heads instead of just letting this be what it is. Like, that's terrible. That sucks. The day before, added an avalanche of screenshots to strange faces. I can't believe people are walking to the bathroom at night and seeing these things. Making this website has convinced me never to run 3dwi.scr after bedtime. Thank you, P. Lawler. No sounds, no faces. Wrong on both counts. What? Okay, so saying that people are hearing audio and seeing faces, which, I mean, I doubt they're there. If you're having any sort of like, if you have like certain form of mental problems, you see faces that aren't there. You hear things that aren't there. But I mean, that widespread, like, this is a very small install base still. Like, it's relatively popular for the time in fiction, but it can't be that. I don't know. Interesting. Falling behind on emails. Sorry, everybody, but pray for my brother because he's been having a hard time lately. He's in hospital now. Sometimes you've been broken in ways that don't hit you until decades later. I expect my turn to come soon. When that day comes, my brother will be alive to support me, but for now, let's go. Okay, back in here, we have Rebecca. That's Rebecca? Yeah, Rebecca and Pat. And they inside each other. Rebecca lean down. Pat go back. They are just smashed together. There's some issues. Amber just like, I don't want any part of this. Just not looking. Like, what are they? Just some kind of computer glitch. Like, the contrast between like just the screensaver just being heckin' weird and bugging out, and then people taking it like deathly seriously. I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. PJR Pin. The PJR Pin is one of 3dwi.scr's first popular sightings. The letters PJR stand for Pat, Joe, and Rebecca, 3 characters on the island. When these 3 adults approach Amber and the following information facing her, it's called a PJR pin. Peel off for the icons in like a triangle formation around her. Amber's in the center of the formation. The PJR pin isn't complete unless all 3 adults are close enough to prevent Amber from moving, or in other words, to pin her in place. It's a very strict and specific requirement that is not met often. Formations in this particular shape are uncommon between any 4 characters. When they do form, they're spontaneous and brief. They'll usually reorganize themselves into more stable circles, or rather diamonds, like this. Okay. Which I think, I'm trying to think, we had those pictures of the like barbecue, and I think that's relatively true. Something like that, which also makes sense for just trying to like algorithmically place characters that don't run into each other. Why is the PGR pin significant? According to the stories, it triggers the following sequence of events. All 4 characters disappear instantaneously. 2, the world is replaced by darkness. 3, in that darkness appears a photograph of a child in clothes that resemble Amber's pink stripes. She is sometimes injured, sometimes not. An audio clip of a young woman's scream or multiple screams play from the speakers. It is usually interpreted as Amber's voice, but sometimes the voice of an off-camera witness. The world reappears. Pat, Joe, Rebecca, and Amber reappear at the front door of the house one by one. Amber is the last to appear. No evidence of the event remains. Okay, so this is very much like urban legend kind of material. Most accounts miss the first 3 steps in the sequence. It's only when they hear the screams that they start paying attention to what's happening on the screen. 3D Whisker doesn't, quote, officially play audio, but many stories report sounds. They usually describe very loud or very quiet sounds, like screams or whispers with little in between. We have a page just for whisper-related sightings, most involving Amber's pleas for help. Much pride is taken in the skill of recognizing these whispers as quickly as possible, since they often precede other events which screenshots are desirable. No whispers precede the PGR pin, unfortunately. Photographs are also a common theme in these sightings. 3D Whisker appears to have a heavy preoccupation with a, quote, real world, and in particular with real human bodies, from living and healthy to mangled or emaciated or dead. In this case, even when Amber doesn't display any physical injuries, her transformation into a human body is often interpreted as an act of violence itself. In general, any movement between fiction and reality in either direction is treated with an undertone of terror. There's that theme again of like fiction and reality, or movement between the two, either reality to fiction, like the Page Master, or saying that like Grace became a part of the screensaver, or reality to fiction. In this case, Amber turning into a real human, and saying that that has an element of violence or terror into it. Like, I'm trying to. No, I don't think we're gonna get jump scared. Like, these are literally just these are just images. So I'm just trying to put together. So that's also what's that, like, reality versus fiction is also like the difference between these two websites. We have the 3D Workers Island discovery page run by Pat, who's like, this is all fiction. It's just comforting. You can think it's a real world, but it's a transient thing. Like, that's a healthier way to look at it. And then people taking these elements of fiction and then pulling it into reality, and that is giving it aspects of violence in this inside 3D Workers Island website, saying that there's like screams and bloody images, and so that's like pulling a reality out of it where it doesn't exist, and that's the element of terror to it. So like I don't know. I there's something here. This feels like the main theme of the like reality versus fiction, and then our perception of it. That seems like the main theme so far. It's yeah, that's where this seems, but I don't know where this is going yet. Yeah, so three workers Island appears to have a heavy preoccupation with the real world. Any movement between fiction and reality in either direction, the truth and undertone of terror. Descriptions of the photo vary. It may be that people are seeing the same photo and remembering it differently. Oh, so people's stories of this are consistent. It's not hard to believe that, and there's no pictures. It's not hard to believe that a disturbing and sudden scream is shocking people into seeing or remembering injuries that aren't there. But it's also possible that 3D Whisker is displaying different photos of the same girl at varying levels of injury, perhaps dependent on the context of the simulation, as Amber's plight has been shown to progress in severity over time. So they're saying that there is some kind of undertone of Amber being injured or abused in some way in the events of the screensaver, which we haven't seen. Everything's very innocuous. We can interpret certain like movements or poses in different ways, but there's no faces. There's been no acts of violence of any sort. We don't even like know what the like AI is really doing. So it's some weird. I still feel that this is like some weird, like, not self-insertion, that's the wrong word, but like reading into things that aren't there. Who is the girl in the picture? Until we have a legitimate screenshot, we have little to go on, and this is proven challenging to capture. G key. Okay, so whoever G key is, that is an important name in the inside 3D Whisker. Jake the Mad Cow had quite a fright. He writes, I'm never running it overnight ever again. Holy shit, it woke me the fuck up. I've never been so scared in my entire life. I was asleep and then an ear-splitting scream. What the fuck? P. Lawler lied to me. Her website says that there's no sound in the screensaver. Well, guess what? There's sound, motherfucker. Ashley B heard it too and caught a look at something interesting. So all this person says is there's audio. Again, we have no proof of this. Someone just said it, and it's the internet. Anyone can just say things. Ashley writes, because it was the last thing I'd ever expect to happen in 3D Worker Island, I have to admit I was jolted and shaking for a good hour afterward. Drink. I knew the discovery pages were wrong about other things, but somehow this one thing I trusted, well, my volume was turned up quite high, so it was really something else. I only got the shortest glimpse at the screen before it reverted back to the status quo. It was dark, but I saw the dim shape of a human. Realistic in proportion, dressed in pink and white like Amber. A photograph, I think. It wasn't moving. Harold has an uglier description. It was bad. Oh my god, lol. I can only laugh now, but I'm done with the screensaver now. For real this time. I think it one scream repeated 3 to 4 times, or maybe it was more than one scream. And the image was a tasteless display of... And that's it. So people are telling some stuff. Okay. PJR. We have... Joe and Rebecca Holland. So that's a diamond shape. There's something. Oh, there's something. There's a laptop here. And there's something there, like a blue thing here, and then a gray thing there. I don't know if that's going to be important or not, but I'm assuming everything could be like a clue to things because of Pet's Cop. Okay, and then Grace is looking at Joe again, away from us. Like, don't know what's going on with Grace. And fall down. There's like, what, bruh? And he's just spinning. What? It's back up. Looking to Rebecca. Rebecca was pointing. Yeah, Rebecca's like pointed at the lawnmower. Yeah, they're just like talking or something. Okay, back to the Discovery Boards page. Which, remember, this was shut down by the Weird Amber people at some point. Reality Priest. It's getting worse and worse. The more I watch, the more I notice, the more I understand, the more bold it becomes. I want to see if there's anything like peeking out like behind the house or something. I'm just going back and forth just to see. No, okay. More bold it becomes with the things it shows me. Every time I come to some new revelation, the screensaver shows me more. But most other people don't see these things, and if I have someone in the room with me, they don't happen. Okay. HTML Maniac. Are you telling me P. Lawler, with the 10 billion hours she's been watching 3D Workers Island, hasn't seen any of these things? Chris, getting dangerous in here, lol. Good kid. Oh, GK. This is probably the user who started the Inside 3D Workers Island website, because they are banned, so they would have like a bone to pick with the Discovery website, and you know, GK, and it starts with a K, so it could be. Pat Lawler is a criminal. I have family who used to live down the street from her. Nobody in the right mind would trust Pat Lawler. Pat Lawler shouldn't be allowed to run a 3D Workers Island fan website. She should be in prison. Everyone who wants details is free to message me. I'm Good Kid 85 on AIM. Forgive me, I don't know anything. I'm just a 14-year-old teenage kid. Like, what? Okay. This is just internet, like, lies is what this sounds like. Damn it, Good Kid, ha 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 ha. And he's banned. That was fast. P. Lawler is always online. She reads every post the second you submit it. You cannot evade her. Okay, so we have Pat on the computer looking at a globe, tippy-tappy. It goes around the back of the house, which we can't see. So They can go either in the house or behind the house where we can't see. Oh, and then there's like a globe there, and then like, okay, I guess this is showing what's on the laptop. Like a globe and the red door. So it's like Workers Island internet. I don't know what that means. Interesting. Worker degeneration. Update 4/24/99. I've decided to stop posting new submissions to this page. This is one of the most well-documented sightings, and at this point, I'm receiving mostly redundant info. Thanks for everything you've sent in. Worker degeneration is something akin to, quote, injury or damage. This damage is associated with an active entity, which 3dwi.scr calls a, quote, worker, hence the name of this page. So inside 3dwi.scr, they're calling the characters entities versus the discovery page calling them workers. Okay. So it's rejecting the idea of it being an AI completely. It's not clear to me how this term came about. It wasn't invented by 3dwi.scr's authors, yet it implies a bit of knowledge about the screensaver's internals. The injury is associated in some fundamental way with the underlying worker concept. It's in the help text. What is this? What do you mean? Not invented by their authors and implies knowledge about the screensaver's internals. We have a help.txt where it is. So someone is just ignoring information. This is especially strange since the only documented cases of worker degeneration are tied to one character, that being Amber. Therefore, it seems premature to generalize this term to such an extent, but I'll use the established name. If you've ever seen a red Amber, you've seen worker degeneration. This is an early stage. After this comes compression, and the result looks like this. It's just like red balls. This red ball is seemingly inert. It doesn't move or interact with any. But yes, the red ball is Amber. Wait, we saw Amber come around the back of a house with a wheelbarrow full of red balls. And then it just kind of stood around. Like, this is giving me huge bad actor vibes. And then just like creating a conspiracy explicitly to hurt the reputation of somebody, right? Like if the person that made this website is that banned user Good Kid and is now just collating stories and maybe even fabricating evidence about this dangerous screensaver, like just to harm the other website, which eventually gets taken down. Like, this is big, like Russian AI bots on Twitter spreading misinformation kind of thing. Like being literally unable to like, if you just get information from online and not like having firsthand information about something, we have no way of knowing what's real and what isn't. So like, I don't, that's just the kind of vibe I'm getting from this website. The red ball is Amber. This state has been interpreted as representing dehydration, malnutrition, and or mutilation. And the many photographic sightings seem to confirm all of these interpretations equally. But most of all, it's become associated with small, muffled screaming and therefore with pain. And no evidence for any of this stuff. It doesn't take long for this red ball to start shrinking and quieting down until sooner or later it can't be seen or heard anymore. Amber will usually respawn from the house at some time after compression, even while the red ball is still visible. The program will eventually continue as usual. So, I mean, what? If you see both, they're not, how is, what? Okay. Falling into asphalt tells us a story. Wait. Falling into asphalt. That was in the, oh man, the computer philosophy page. Hold on. That reference, falling into asphalt. Letting the screensaver go longer periods has unlocked something, and I'm seeing all sorts of funny shit like a red Amber. He goes in the house, comes out redder, goes behind the house, comes back redder again, comes back weird and slow. Crawls around until pop, she's just a ball on the ground that everyone ignores, and that's that. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't even know where this heckin'... Ah, perfect. Okay, where was that? What called the common story theme of falling into asphalt imagery bring the inside into the outside. falling into asphalt is there, as well as that is the user here. What? And this is the weird. Hello, Malroon. Hope you're doing well. So what is this? Window into reality. Project reality. What called the common story theme of falling to asphalt imagery. We bring the inside into the outside and the outside of the place we are stuck looking. I'm trapped and I may never return home. So what is up with this? Like it still reads as like untranslatable, like just some weird bad translation. I just remember the falling into asphalt, so that's all. So there's a user here on the inside Workers Island site telling the story about like what may be wrong information, but that username appearing in this computer philosophy page can't be a coincidence. Well, I haven't been feeling too well this week, just like mentally and stuff, but I'm starting to feel a little better. So I appreciate that. Okay, I'm just gonna keep this open so I can reference this again, because this still feel like this is still the biggest question mark about what this means, other than the theme of seeing something and either seeing reality or fiction, and where our consciousness is. Are we real, or are we like a fiction in some sense? That's how it kind of describes, but I don't know. That's such a bizarre thing, so we're just going to keep that there. Nathan Manfield kept the screensaver running all day and writes, I went away for 8 hours, and when I got back, there's a bunch of red spheres, pardon me, scattered around and making noise. Altogether, it sounded like a chorus of dissonant humming. Now I'm wondering just how long my dog had to listen to that shit. But the other people leave it on multiple computers 24/7. This person leaves it on for 8 hours, says weird stuff happens. Other people leave it on all the time, 24/7 for who knows how many months, if not years. Sees nothing. What? Like this all just feels in bad faith. This one is from Thomas. How many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean? I just can't help but feel hopeless about everything. Nobody will ever help me, and I'll never help myself. I'm too afraid even to reach out. And I've been writing this right now. This much exists only in my head. This whole website exists only in my head. 3D Workers Island? What is this? Would I really put this online? Would I really give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? This is fake. This is all fake, and nobody will ever be able to see it. Thomas, I hear you and I understand. Suffering in silence is such hard work. Huh? So the fact is included in this like red ball thing makes it imply that how many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean implies that the red balls are in the ocean, which would be relatively consistent with the images we saw of Amber pulling that wheelbarrow full of red orbs. But then it goes to a bad mental health day post for sure. And again, that theme of like not knowing what reality is. The whole website exists only in my head. What is this? Would I really put this online? Would I really give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? So this person has like is now treating 3D Workers Island as his world, like his mental state has like completely lost their identity to a screensaver. Like this is just big QAnon vibes, like being so deep into a conspiracy that it becomes your personality. Users reporting wildly different experiences sound like IT. Ho-ho! Sort of. But yeah, this is 3D Workers Island, which is a story in images about a screensaver from 1999 by the person that made Petscop, if you are aware of what Petscop is. Huh, okay, interesting. Okay, so we got Grace still looking away from the camera, looking around. And we... What is this? Okay, and then we see a bunch of orbs falling. Pink, blue, orange, red. Okay, I thought these would represent the characters, but they don't. There's no like orange character kind of. All these just drops falling from sky. Recession of the islands. What? So this is still like what is on the screensaver. So this is something weird. Grace just looking around. And then it shows us what I'm assuming this is supposed to imply what Grace is seeing. What is this? These colored orbs just falling to the ground and then making just this weird pattern. Like, there's not really a fluid. Session of the Islands. I think that's like a chapter title. Okay, so this is the wheelbarrow that we saw Amber pull out full of orbs, and all the orbs are in the water. And they sink. Then we zoom out, okay. Piled all these different instances. Huh. That's it. That's the end. And then we actually see something weird and these orbs that people are mentioning. So then we're just kind of left in at, was it real? Was it not? Does it matter? Huh. The last thing we're told about is worker degeneration. And saying that the orbs are Amber, who is compressed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all the characters on the, there are 6 orbs and there are 6 characters on the island. And the island's then empty, and then we just zoom out. Still don't know what the heck is up with Grace. That Grace is like implied that she is somebody who got pulled into the screensaver somehow. Say has been interpreted as representing dehydration, malnutrition, and or mutilation. Many photographic studies have been confirmed all these interpretations equally. How many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, and this like Thomas's message is also the last one that we're given. This is fake. This is all fake, and nobody will ever see it. I'm not even writing this right now. This message exists only in my head. How many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean? Session of the Islands multiple. 6 orbs, which is either all Amber or this is all like different versions of Amber. If that's I'm going off of what that inside 3D Workers on Inside is saying, or because there's 6 of them, it's all the characters that then sink into the ocean. The island recedes, and then we're shown all of these screens. All of them no longer have the island on it. And then everything goes red. That's it. And then that's the end. I don't... And then I'm just sitting with like, okay, what's real and what isn't. Like, which is kind of the theme of this, I guess. We bring the inside into the outside, and the outside is the place we are stuck looking. This is the only meaning of I'm trapped in the TV. When we find out that reality is the thing we look into, but what does that mean? Where are we? What happens when something bad you find responsible for is there, and you do nothing to stop because it looks through a window and is not real? Windows are even scarier when on you're the one who looks in them, because of when you never know what you'll see in them. This still feels like the key to this that I am not understanding. What? I mean, I felt the same way with Petscop, but the more that I look into Petscop, the more it becomes interesting, the more it kind of reveals itself. Like, what if what you see through the screen actually is exactly like it might be or it might not be? Like, that seems to be the two main things in this. Like, we have this website, the inside 3dwi.scr website, which is saying everything on this in the screen is real in some sense or represents something real, and it's all this dark, disturbing stuff. Whereas the other website, the Discovery Boards, run by Pat Lawler, is saying is like everything's fiction. Like, none of this stuff that is being talked about is real. It's all hoaxes. But no one actually knows. It's all just personal interpretation about what they're seeing. No one actually knows the truth in this thing. It's all just however people are viewing it, because they don't know who made it, where it came from. All we actually have is the only information we have is this text file. Hello, Swooshy. Which all it says is this: workers are an approach to computation. 3D Workers Island takes advantage of resources in the world. Welcome to the world in the computer. That's all. This is all the information we actually have that's factual about this screensaver. And then people just completely take it wild different tangents. Like, we don't see anything other than like a couple weird stuff, like Joe Water, Amber comes out. Yeah, these are definitely like chapter titles. So like world, and then just given on the forums, it's glued to it, mesmerized. Some people get obsessed with it, put it on everything. They immerse their entire worlds in it. Some of them see just bizarre heckin' shit in this that is not there, but people see it in there, and like they like, and even like I'm trying to interpret certain things. Like, Grace is just looking away. Why? Like, the whole time, even in that character picture. Remember? Like, that seemed to be important. It's not, as far as I know, or it's as important as I want it to be. Like, I am bringing as much of myself to this as it's giving me, because I'm not given any actual information, which I think is kind of what this is also talking about. This is what it means. When we find out the reality is the thing we look into, but what does that mean? Where are we? So it's like, reality is as much of us as it is like that we perceive of it. So like, people that bring into it like that it's just this cute world, that's what people are seeing. People are told or think that it's this really dark thing, that's also what they're seeing. And then it's like, what do you do, like, what do you do with information? Like, I really do feel this is like a QAnon kind of thing. Like, showing a fictionalized version of how people can like all see the same events or have similar information but get to completely different ends of the spectrum on what it can mean, and then have like and think the other side is lying. That's kind of what it feels like. Because even where that discovery page got it, this was all the information they had. An island with people walking around on it. That's it. That's all the information that the 3D Workers Island people had to go off of it when they made their website. Like, all information about this, and like none of like it's all just interpreted. Yeah, it is clear from simple observation that this text should not be taken lightly, but just how advanced this AI is seems to be an ambiguous and controversial question. Like, it is very much a matter of intuition at this point. At the very least, it's good enough to capture the imaginations of many. Like, this seems fairly even-keeled, but even then it's saying that, like, the AI is so advanced, but we don't see any example of that. Like, we have this, which, like, looks like it could be Amber trying to communicate something to Holland, and then Holland like running off, because then the next thing we see is what we thought is Pat, which is Holland's parent, like talking to Amber, but we have no information about what's actually being said. So, and also this weird body horror, like why is all this time given to this fake skin disease, which is about redness, gaps of various sizes, loss of epidermis, recession of islands, and it's also like islands, worker island. Like, this is also in here for some reason. Yeah, and here comes around from behind the building. Here's all these red orbs. Like, we have bits of information people reference, but we have nothing cohesive to actually like stake a claim of reality on. Like, this is what's happening, this is what something means. We only have what these websites are going off of, and both sides heckin' weird, bizarre. Hello, Sir Time, I hope you're doing well. Like, the even the character that we have, we can say is like the most knowledgeable, Pat Lawler, is as much too close of a connection to this stupid screensaver. I cannot but help but feel attracted to Rebecca with her eye-catching red hair and shoes. It is a difficult question. Why you? How can you? How you are attracted to 12 pixels on a screen? There's more red. No, that's flowers, right? Red flowers up there. Yeah, that's red flowers up there. Like, I feel that this is about interpretation of reality versus fiction, and that you kind of can't, especially online. You don't know. You don't even know who any of these people are. You don't know what people are lying, what's made up. You don't know if, like, the only thing we can go off of is what you see with your own eyes. That is it. And even then, all you can do is interpret it. Man. And at the end, with those like orbs dropping from the ceiling, I thought it'd match up with this, but it doesn't. I mean, maybe, because that could be the case. Because like you have all of these orbs, right? We have green, red, yellow, white, and then these are all these other colors, and it's just all these statements, true, false statements, statements of unknown veracity, that all just kind of mix together. It's not the color of their clothing, not exclusively. I thought that, but Here. So these are all the characters, right? All the character colors. And then these are all the colors that are here. We have like this kind of lime green, we have orange, we have this kind of really light blue. We don't have any of those colors here. These shoes are the green, but we don't have that color of blue. We don't have that orange there. Like, and the fact that these are like the only orbs we have that we can see are the quote unquote red orbs, the work regeneration orbs, and this, which is such a specific thing to pull up. I feel that that's what this is. It's just a mix of knowns, unknowns, lies, truths. It is impossible. Everything just mixes together, and it's impossible to know the actual, like, what actually is the truth. All we have is like what we see. This I also don't quite understand. I think it represents all the 6 characters then just like disappearing, and then the island just goes away. Like, it's not about this anymore. It's just about what everyone's talking about it. This doesn't even have to exist anymore. These characters don't matter. People are just saying what they want about it, regardless about what's happening here. That's my interpretation, anyway. I don't think that's correct. If there is an intentional like plot or message here, I don't think that's necessarily it. But that's what I think that's where I'm sitting. Which is really, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. There is something about this though, just the like slow like descent of these things that we're told to represent characters on here that could be like real, that have some form of cognition, some form of it, potentially. And then just all red. And that's it. That's all that we get. But 2. There is no 2. What if I put 3? There is no 3. 3D Workers Island. Yeah, islands plural island here. Yeah, because it's like we have our one view, the island's appearing, but then there's all these other views. Like, this is just the multiplicity of perspectives people could have about this thing. Like, we only got to see one. We have no idea what other people have been seeing. All we can go off of is like what people have been saying online, and no idea who's telling the truth, who's lying, who's in good faith, who's in bad. If there's anyone who's just having severe mental problems and that are using this as like an outlet, because like there's that Thomas message, which is severe depression, people potentially hearing voices and seeing faces that aren't there. Like, there is no trustworthy source. There is no trustworthy source. And that is kind of horrifying. Like, that's a little scary. Like, if you kind of expand that out to just basically everything online. Like, yeah, you can't trust anything. You can barely even trust your own eyes a lot of the time, especially when it comes to other people. Well, like, we can only interpret. And we have no idea what's going on with other people. What a weird heckin' thing. What a weird heckin' thing. But that's the itch page if you want to check it out and do your own little exploration. I am glad I checked this out. But man, I don't think I get it. I feel like I got something out of it though. That's very unsettling. When it was talking about like, oh man, all this dark, bloody torture, I was like, okay, hold on. Is this actually gonna be talking about stuff? And then it doesn't go there. But just like the fact that it could, and I didn't know, I don't know. This made me quite uncomfortable. I don't know. But that's cool. cool thing. I like horror stuff like this, especially. Just really well done. Also, like all, like the even like this kind of like transition between scenes is very screensaver, very Windows 95. The low poly look, the consistent heckin' low res as well and limited color palette is very good. And man, these website designs, oh, mwah, delicious. Spot heckin' on. Very cool. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. See what Grace is doing here. Not much. I thought she turned around. She didn't. Yeah, just everything is so up to interpretation. Oh, that's why Pat's image is this. That's Pat. And then, like, the quote unquote 2 children potentially. Yeah. Like, it is, Pat is, like, identifying with that Pat for sure. Do feel a twinge of annoyance when I see a character like Amber sitting around. I want to tell her, hey, you're young, do something. Like a parental figure. I guess that makes sense why it's that image, but we get to see the exact same image, which is interesting. Well, then Holland is feeding himself and then feeding the baby, feeding the doll. Like, oh man. The horror is not in the screensaver. It's in what people are saying about it, how they're reacting to it, and like the reality that they live in. That is kind of terrifying. That is where the horror lives. That people take this very innocuous thing and just seeing what they want, and what they want is fucking dark, man. And that people are also willing to believe that kind of stuff. That's where I'm sitting with it. I don't know what you guys think about it, but that's where I'm at. What a weird thing. 3D Workers Island. What a bizarre horror project. Very cool. That I don't get it, but it's very cool. How are you doing? What do you think about it? Yeah, it's very curious. Huh. Yeah, bizarre. Yeah, neat. So yeah, I posted a link to the itch page for this in chat if you wanted to check it out yourself. Feel free. Like I said, this author also worked on Pets Cop. Focus on the last message. Can't quite finish thoughts on it. The Thomas's message. Hold on. Let's look at it again. Because there's also, hold on. There's also this, right? Because Pat is on the computer, potentially literally on the internet. And then we're also shown like the world, the house, the world, like there's like some kind of connection there. And it's implying some kind of connection there. Just as the true horror was the friends we made along the way. If depending on the friends that you make, kind of, yeah, actually. Like kind of. Like a little bit. Because yeah, the message from Thomas, I just can't help but feel hopeless about everything. Nobody will ever help me, and I'll never help myself. I'm too afraid even to reach out. I'm not even writing this right now. This message exists only in my head. This whole website exists only in my head. 3D Workers Island, what is this? Would I really put this online? Would I really give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? This is fake. This is all fake, and nobody will ever see it. Like, I am reading this now as not green. Green is the best friend to make along the way. No horror there, only pure joy and delight. Mass message we get is how many orbs from the ocean. It's all fake, and all we see the orbs down the island. Yeah, and then the end. Like this message, the Thomas message specifically, I read as a complete breakdown of being able to differentiate between reality and fiction, and assuming that they are this, and thinking that they are the source of reality. Like what's in their head is what they're seeing. So like, would I really put this online? Would I give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? Like, so like their world, the screensaver and this website, like is their world, and they're putting it out there. And would they really give the slightest glimpse into the world? Like it seems like a complete breakdown of that. They can't, they think everything is fake that they're seeing and experiencing is not real and is coming from them, and other people might be experiencing it, but it's all question marks. Just a complete breakdown in the perception of reality. That's what I think this is. And then it's like feeling completely alone and helpless. And because they don't think anything is real, there is no way for them to get any kind of help. Like you have to nail down some form of reality. That's what I feel this is about. Because you have what could be like real reality versus like a created, like just lies or fiction that people are saying. Everyone thinks it's their own version of the truth, and this person is like literally everything is fake. Like it's a complete rejection of all reality, and that is just deeply sad. And that is like actually terrifying. So the Windows Explorer 6, they really should, but 1999, there's not too much that I don't think they had many options. But before, like that could be the ending, or it just cuts to those orbs, but we don't. We have the bit with Grace, who we never see their face, which means like, you know, if you don't see someone's face, at least in like media, that usually means we don't truly know them. Sort of like they are just a mystery, and they're looking around, and then we're shown this, which I do still think is that like those is the supposed to represent like real, unreal, like truth, lies, like you can't, because of the I gotta find it again. Go faster. Where is it? It was after this, and it goes back to the website. Here, yeah, the Snopes rating key. True, because this is the only other part that we've seen. Red represents falsehood. It also represents like pain in a sense, according to the other website. And this is also the only time we've seen color orbs other than the red ones. And that's just all these different colors. So all the different shades of truth are just falling down, and we can't differentiate them. I feel that's what this is. But I don't get Grace being here, because Grace is, we never see her do anything, so we have no information about her that for us to even interpret, and we've never seen what her face, even though there is no face there, probably she's never, at no point does she face us. We have actually no information about her. Like she is the closest to a pure unknown that we have in this. And then we're shown, you know, everything is unknown, I think. And then we have the 6 orbs, 6 characters on the island, 6 orbs. And then they descend into the ocean and the island disappears. And then we're shown that there's all these different views of the island, and it's gone on all of them. Grace always looking away from reality. Or we don't have a view of reality on Grace, potentially. And then it's just a pure red screen. So like just the color red is just there. And the last thing we see is just a pure screen of red before we get to the end screen. And red either means like false, right? Or it's the it's either just means false and that everything is lies, but the house is also red, and we don't get to see what's inside of the house. So like the red is unknown. But then after this, compression, the red ball is an inert. The red ball is amber. It's been interpreted as representing dehydration, malnutrition, and or mutilation. So good kids PFP. Yeah, that's the case. Who is most likely, because the runner of this website is G Key, good kid. Like that's it's like it's all these things that it could be, but we have no firm foundation to put to ground that on. So it is purely up to your own interpretation of reality, and we have all these different views, and we will never know. It's impossible for us to know for sure. And I like I said, I think that's where the horror lies. What about the lamp? I don't think the lamp is anything. I think what we see on the island is actually like completely random. Like I do think this is all like it's all red herrings. Like I don't know if any of this is actually important. I think what's actually important is what we see of people's interpretation of it. So we can either stop and like investigate every single frame that we see of every character, what they're doing, what it could represent. Like what is the lamp? What does this represent? Like I think it represents just an old screensaver. But what is actually important and what is the actual horror is, like I said, the people's weird fucking obsession with what is implied to be a underaged character, and their weird obsession and saying they see like pornographic and violent things in it, and the like almost like a push to extremism in a sense, all based on nothing. I think that that's the actual horror of this thing. That everything else, like all of this, is just it's a screensaver. There's nothing happening here. And then just all these bizarre beliefs that can come out of it, and we have no basis to believe it on, as well as like the effects it can have on somebody that falls into the rabbit hole. Like this is Thomas. Like he is intentionally interacting with this conspiracy website, and he's completely lost all connection to reality. I think that's where that's at. Just like where conspiracy-minded thinking can really wreck you. I like that's my ultimate conclusion about this thing. But these last couple elements, I'm just a real shot in the dark. Like I don't understand this. I'm just completely honest. This it doesn't really quite fit into my own interpretation, which is fine. Because this implies there is some truth to the conspiracy of some sort, but we don't see enough to know for sure. You just kind of have to pick a side, I guess. Yeah, it's like what view, what we only saw one of these. Which one? Take a pick. Take your pick of perspectives. Cool thing. It's a cool thing. I like horror things. I want to see like more stuff like that. I want that's fun. This is fun for me. This is a fun thing. I want to do more shit like this. I just don't find out about it very often. At least not early enough in the zeitgeist for it to matter. Like it's only now. This came out. When did this come out? This came out like when did this guy put this up? No, don't take me back to the website. To the itch page. There's the itch page. This was uploaded to itch. Doesn't say. That's too bad. I do wish there were dates on this thing. But yeah. And I'm only seeing like some videos on YouTube about this. I haven't watched any of them yet. Like, it is brand new. So I feel like I could actually look at this with a somewhat fresh perspective and actually like get something out of it myself before everyone starts theorizing and then ruining it with Nightmind. Oh, the new Petscop ARG is unlike anything you've ever seen before! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Like, I want to actually like check it out. And it's heckin' weird, and I want to look at more stuff like this. I like this thing. I like this stuff. But like, I feel we can't stream like ARG videos or like unfiction stuff because everyone's already covered all that shit to death. I've nothing to offer. But I wanted to look at this, and this was fun. Okay. I'm done. That is the end of 3D Workers Island. Like I said, I posted the link. I'm going to do it again. Go look at it. Go look at it yourself. Tell me what you think. I legitimately want to know what someone else's interpretation about what this stuff is. That's because I feel like there's a lot of loose ends just thematically, especially with that computer philosophy page. That's all mixed up. It's like it's grabbing phrases of like, I'm trapped in the computer and whatever, and like weird additional words in there. There's like a lot of extra ofs and commas and stuff. It just makes it hard to read. Like, there's something else in there, but I don't know what it is right now. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna call that a stream. I haven't been feeling well. I've not been well mentally, but I've been pulling out of it. It's all cycles, you know. So I'm just gonna continue to kind of take it easy and chill as best I can. Drink more water. That's what I'm gonna do. There we go. I had a big sip, just so you know that I'm serious about it. But yeah, thanks for vibing with me. I really appreciate it. Tell me in the Discord, send me a message if this was like a cool thing to look at. I don't know. I had fun, and yeah, I hope you have a good night. Like I said, check that out, the link, go through it, let me know what you think about it. But yeah, I'm just gonna set you guys free, and I hope you have a lovely night. Don't know if I'm gonna be streaming on Sunday. Just with everything and mental state and all that stuff, we will see. But I hope so. I hope I feel good enough to do it, and hopefully I'll see you then. But I hope you have a good one. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourself. Give the nearest person that will accept it a hug, because hey, some people need them, and if you don't, maybe they do. So go do that, and brush your teeth.